CAHN Healthy Heart session. Lovely to have you all this evening with us. And thank you again for those that are currently tuned in on Facebook and YouTube. This evening, we have a lot in store for you. Again, I believe this week is actually Mental Health Awareness Week as well. So some of our programs will be tailored again to how we can look after ourselves, maintaining that healthy lifestyle, looking after our bodies. And for today's Healthy Heart session, we'll be focused on diets and chronic disease. And we have a lot in store for you. We have some of our speakers that will be having a short talk around that, and we will be answering any questions throughout this evening. So please do keep your questions throughout this evening in the chat box, both on YouTube, Facebook, and on Zoom. And I believe our doctors will answer that. And we also then later on have our physical activity session held by our physical instructor, Orlando. And today I believe we'll be having boxercise. So please do please do tune in. Please do keep engaged. Please do send in your comments. We want to know how you're finding these sessions. And without further ado, I'm going to hand over to today's host, our host, Dr. Robert, who's going to be leading this evening session. Over to you, Dr. Robert.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth, for the kind introduction. Today, we are going to be discussing diet and chronic diseases, as Elizabeth has rightly said. Chronic diseases are very important that we discussed because of the impact that it has on our health. And specifically today, we are going to be discussing, looking at one important organ in the body, which is kidneys. So we're going to be looking at the role that nutrition plays in managing chronic kidney diseases. And we have one of our experts here today who would be telling us all about diet, food that probably we should avoid, food that we should eat if you unfortunately is diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. So lace your boots and then join the train as we take you through all the important things that you need to know about nutrition and chronic kidney diseases. So I would stop here because I don't want to say a lot about kidney diseases because as you know, the kidney is an important organ in the body. It plays several functions in the body. And one of them is to remove waste and extra fluid from our bodies that we don't need. And perhaps also regulate the amount of acid that we produce from the cells of our body. And so it is important that we maintain this organ if we really want to live long. So without much ado, I would introduce today's speaker, Mr. Wise Chukwudi Letsa. If you are ready, let's go on.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Roberts, for giving the baton to me. I'm very ready for us to go on. I believe you can all see my slides. Good, good. So just a bit about Wise Chukwudi Letsa. Wise is a registered dietitian and an author. I had a team of dietitians at the Trust Hospitals in Accra, and also I'm the founder of Let's Consult. Let's Consult is a dietetic service provider. We are into nutrition, planning diets and organizing programs for corporate organizations. So the matter of kidney disease is very common to our day-to-day activities. And our passion is to give out adequate information so that people will be well informed and know how to go about their diets, their health in general, and then how they can prevent kidney disease and also manage in case the condition is already diagnosed. So I'm happy to be part of the team to contribute my knowledge to what you are doing at your network. So without talking much, this is a pictorial or anatomical representation of our kidneys. Dr. Roberts mentioned a few of the functions of the kidney. It's a bean-shaped organ situated in our system, and it plays various functions. Chief among them is to maintain the balance of water and minerals such as sodium, potassium, phosphorus in our blood. The kidneys, sodium is simply representing salt. So the body needs a normal balance of these minerals in itself to perform the functions that they play. And the kidney tries to maintain the levels. In kidney disease, the levels of these salts or minerals become high. So when the kidney function test is conducted, you see that these values are out of range, and it's the duty of any health practitioner or healthcare provider, a doctor, a dietitian, nutritionist, a nurse. The goal is to deal with some of these minerals, the levels in the blood. And the kidneys also remove waste from the blood. The fact is that after digestion of food, or after we put food into the system, the body digests it to release the nutrients. And these nutrients are used to build the body up through complex mechanisms known as metabolism. And going through this process, wastes are produced, and the kidneys work to remove the waste in conjunction with other organs of the body, like the liver and even the circulatory system and others. The kidneys play a role in activity of our muscles and the release of chemicals, or even the metabolism or the way medications move in our system. The kidneys also make renin, a compound which the body uses to help manage blood pressure. So they play a role in regulating the fluid in the system, which affects blood pressure, and also regulating the salts, which also play a role in regulating the blood pressure of humans. And there's a chemical called erythropoietin, which is involved in blood production, or red blood cells production. So the kidneys make that chemical as well. And so they are involved in determining how much blood we have in our system. And then they also make vitamin D, which is necessary for bone health and other activities in the body. So the kidneys play very important roles in human life, and we cannot overemphasize these key functions. Now, when the kidneys are not able to perform these functions, then the way they have to perform them, that is when they are diseased. So just as maybe you have a headache, you cannot go through your normal day's activities, you say you are sick. The same way, if the kidney cannot perform its normal roles or perform the duties that it has to perform or functions, then it is said to be sick or ill or diseased. And before the chronic kidney disease, or chronic means long-term. So if the kidneys cannot perform their normal functions of maintaining the levels of salts and balancing the butter in the system and all that, for more than 3 months, then it's said to be chronic kidney disease. And there are protocols for the diagnosis of chronic kidney disease. Your GPs and specialists will confirm the diagnosis, and then the management takes effect from there. There's what is characteristic. One of the characteristics of kidney disease is the buildup of waste and fluid in the body. So chronic kidney diseases may have swelling in certain parts of the body, and that could prompt healthcare professionals to do further investigations to check the health of the kidney. Now, the one bad thing about kidney disease is that symptoms may not be felt until the disease is so advanced. That is why preventive lifestyles are very important, so that we can actually prevent them or regular medical screenings are so important so that it can even be detected. So every now and then, once, twice a year, it's advisable that we have some of these major organs checked. Imagine you develop a problem with your kidney, or the kidney function goes out of range at the beginning of the year, and you've not done any screening, any form of medicals to detect, or for the doctors to detect the problem. And it stays with you until maybe a year passes before you go checking yourself. You might end up moving to a stage where it will become more difficult to deal with. So to be proactive, so far as all these are major organs are concerned, not only the kidney, but the liver, heart. So regular screenings are an important aspect of being able to detect this condition early, or actually even prevent it. Now, in chronic kidney disease, there's high blood pressure. There could be nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, metallic taste in the mouth, fatigue, weakness, trouble thinking, and just not being yourself, sleeplessness, muscle cramps, and swelling, like I mentioned earlier, in the ankles, and then itching, which usually will stay for a very long time. Chest pain if there's fluid buildup because the kidney in the chest, because the kidneys are not able to manage and reduce the levels of fluids and water in the system. These are some of the causes. Diabetes, which is not well controlled, high blood pressure. So over time, having a lot of sugar in the system for a long time will damage the kidneys. There's also the issue of high blood pressure not well controlled, which causes wear and tear in blood vessels, including those that supply blood to the kidneys. And certain immune diseases like lupus nephritis, which is kidney disease due to the immune system attacking itself, or your own immune system attacking your kidneys. In certain long-lasting viral infections like HIV and AIDS, hepatitis B and C, they can also lead to kidney disease. Pyelonephritis, a urinary tract infection within the kidneys, which can result in scarring of the infected areas, or when the infection heals, and then that can eventually affect the function of the kidneys. Inflammation in the tiny filters, or the filtration units of the kidney, and also polycystic kidneys may end up when the fluid sacs form in the kidneys. They may end up diseasing or causing the kidneys to be diseased. And abuse of drugs, NSAIDs, etc., could also end up damaging the kidneys. Now, the kidney diseases are staged, and if we will understand the management of the condition, whether medical or nutritional, we should be able to understand the stage of the condition. The kidneys filtering speed is called the glomerular filtration rates. And if blood tests are conducted, you see estimated GFR or eGFR, which is known as the estimated glomerular filtration rates. And if you understand the stage at which you are more empowered to be able to deal with the condition. And the GFR, or the filtration rate, reduces. So basically, the kidney filters the blood of waste, and where the filtration takes place is damaged. That is when there is kidney diseases. So when the filtration units are damaged, imagine your sieves are damaged or are blocked. You want to sieve something, the rate at which you can be able to sieve will be very, very slow. So that's the same thing that is happening to the structure of the kidney. Now, these are the stages of kidney disease, or chronic kidney disease. We have the stage 1. So normally this figures the eGFR per minute. You see it on the kidney function report. So stage 1, if the eGFR is 90, or a little even higher than 90. And then stage 2, 60 to 89. So stage 1 and 2 are known as mild damage. And then we have stage 3A, 45 to 59 for the EGFR, and then stage 3B, 30 to 44. So stage 3 is known as moderate damage or moderate disease. And then stage 4, 15 to 29, that is severe damage. If the EGFR is less than 15, then it's described as end stage. This is the stage at which the kidneys are no longer working. So the earlier stages, stage 1 to 4, there is some function. It's not optimal, but then it goes below 15, then that is like the kidneys are gone totally. And we have 2 kidneys. Human beings are able to survive on one. So if one is damaged, the other can actually perform the role very well. But then in disease where the labs show that there's true damage, then the 2 kidneys are actually gone. There are other investigations that are done that are part of the kidney function test. So like I mentioned earlier, sodium levels are measured, potassium levels are measured, urea, creatinine, and all that. So all this give an idea of the extent of how much waste is left in the system. So just so that the doctor or caregivers can, or healthcare providers will be able to tailor make solutions to help remove the waste from the system. In end-stage kidney disease, the only way it can be managed is kidney dialysis or kidney transplants. So depending on the stage, no matter the stage, there are solutions, but then no one really would want their organs to be damaged to the extent of having to look for new organs. Now, we are now going to move into diet. So dietary relationships or management of kidney disease. The goal of any form of nutrition or diet intervention is to slow down the rate at which the damage is progressing. So I showed you images of, a slide on the various stages of kidney disease. So the first goal is to prevent anyone who is caught at stage 1 or slow down, either prevent or slow down the rates of change from stage 1 to stage 2, or damage should go down drastically. And we've been successful even in my clinic, in my work, we've seen people really stay at one stage for a very long period, or even move from a worse stage to a better stage. So that is the first goal of treatment or management with diet and any other form of management, be it medical or psychological or all of them. The first goal is to slow down the rate of progression of the disease, and also to manage the contributing conditions, or we call them the modifiable risk factors. What are these modifiable risk factors? Hypertension, which is a risk factor. So anyone who is hypertensive is encouraged to take their medications well, judiciously. If you have to take the medications once a day, make sure you have them. Just pop those pills in. If you're supposed to take them twice a day, make sure you are taking them. You're not just controlling your blood pressure, but you are also preventing complications. And one of them is kidney disease. So that is one. And how else do we control blood pressure? You control your food intake, control your sodium intake, control fat intake, control intake of fried foods, increase fiber and all that. We do similar things for diabetes management. Make sure you take your medications according to the doctor's prescription. You follow your diet plan perfectly. Measure your food. Taking a lot of fiber. Go very low or zero on simple sugars, and all that. Do everything possible to get good numbers for the diabetes or blood sugar control. Not only fasting blood sugar control, but even the random blood sugar control. So when you check your sugar level an hour after meal or 2 hours after meals, those levels should be normal as well. And then when after 3 months, your glycated hemoglobin levels are measured, they should be at target, which shows that over long periods of time, your control of the blood sugar is on point. And kidney disease is also related to being obese or obesity, having too much fat in the system. So do exercises, honor their nutritionist or dietitian's appointments so that they'll be able to control or lose weight. So one key to weight management is to try and decline the weight ladder. What do I mean by that? We have BMI or body mass index ranges. A normal body mass index ranges from 18 to 25. 25 to 29 is overweight. 30 to 35 is class 1 obesity. 35 to 39 is class 2 obesity. 40 and above is class 3 obesity. So if you're assessed and you are class 3 obese, the aim is to step down to class 2 obesity. If you're in class 2, step down to class 1. If you're obese, step down to overweight. If you're overweight, step down to normal weight, right? But nobody is supposed to go to underweight. But then there are people who have also been able to manage their weight so well to move all the way from obesity down to having normal weight for their height. So weight management is key, and cholesterol management is so important. It's one of the things you do to prevent heart disease, atherosclerosis, blood vessels being blocked and all that. So cholesterol level should be normal as well, because heart disease causes kidney disease. And if you have kidney conditions, also some of the wastes and compounds that build up in the blood can even end up causing heart disease. So having good cholesterol also is protective. And if the disease is already established, then the patient is supposed to really keep these factors under control so that the way they contribute to worsening and progressing the disease will be kept at bay. So you have normal blood pressure, you can remain in stage 2 for a very long time. You know, retrogress to stage 3. So let's just take note of all that. And also there's a need, the one goal of nutritional interventions is to ensure that there's adequate nutrient and energy intake in order to prevent malnutrition in general, and then nutrient deficiencies. You see, when people are ill, what they eat becomes a problem. So they pick advice from all over the place. You're not supposed to eat this, you're not supposed to eat that, you're supposed to have this. People usually get confused. At the end of the day, that confusion causes another disease, which is the nutrient and energy deficiency disease. And that can actually make some people weaker than the actual disease can make them weak. So we have to also try hard and prevent the nutritional disease by ensuring that the patient is gaining the right amount of energy and nutrients. And in all this, nutritional management are supervised by registered dietitians, registered nutritionists. So the ones that you have in your area, you should use ideally, or you should consult a registered dietitian or a registered nutritionist, because the diets are even varied and highly individualized. So based on your lab results and outcomes, your nutrition plan is tailored to make to solve problems that may be there. So we work on individualized diet plans. So everybody should actually consult a registered dietitian, registered nutritionist, if they have kidney disease or any diseases that will ensure which will require that they be on one form of controlled eating or diet. Now, these are the stages that before we start talking about what you eat and what you don't eat or what you control, must be taken through. Nutrition assessments. We have anthropometry, which is body measurements. So we check your weight, your height, other parts of the body. We can even measure body fat percentages and all that. And then there's the biochemical assessment, which includes blood tests, urine tests, etc., and other tissue assays or studies. And then there's the clinical, which looks for signs and symptoms of the disease. Like I mentioned, when there's fluid retention, there's swelling in the ankles, when there's anemia, the eyelids are pale, when there are other nutrients, we look out for the signs. And so what are the physical effects of the size, the condition on you? All these things are documented. And then dietary, which is so important because every successful nutrition program is tailored around the dietary habits of the individual involved. So what food are you eating? What do you eat over probably the last 24 hours when you arrive in the clinic? That gives us some information. So the 24-hour recall, for example, or food history, proper records are very, very important. So these are important assessments that need to be done before we go into the actual nutrition or what food you should take or you should not take. Now, there's the need to go on what we call a healthy, well-balanced diet. For anybody who has chronic kidney disease, we call it CKD. The what to heal you or help us achieve the goals of management is a healthy, well-balanced meal. And I have some patients who are just on diets, depending on the stage and the complications they have. So it is a healthy, well-balanced meal. It's not in a pill, it's not in any supplement, it's not in any particular one food group. It should be a combination of all the foods. And one of the ways I describe balanced meals or balanced diet is that a balanced diet is a salad. It's a salad of all the food groups. So when you bring all food groups together, you bring the major food groups, the grains, you bring the starchy tubers, you bring the vegetables, you bring your proteins and fruits and everything, and then you mix them. That is
I think we are having some challenges with the network in Ghana. Hello, Wise.
I think he's cut out there.
Let's wait a minute to see if he will rejoin.
Yeah, I think he's still coming in. Does anyone have any questions? I mean,
those are the challenges of a third world country, so it's fine.
Yeah.
We need to understand that. Well, in the meantime, if you have any questions, can you drop them in the chat box? Then we can pick them up for Wise to answer, try and address them for us. Hiba, if you have his telephone number, can you call him or send him a WhatsApp message to see so that we know what is happening? Okay, so we have some questions coming in. Please, can you add your questions in the chat box? I know you have many questions, many concerns that you want to raise. In the meantime, drop them here. We can collate them and wait for Wise to come back.
Yes, in the meantime, Dr. Robert, I'll just quickly plug in there for those of us that have currently joined. Welcome again to our Healthy Hearts. This program runs every Tuesday evening from 6 till 7:30. So please do continue to engage and we have some different topics that will be coming up throughout the month of May. So please do engage and do try to send in your questions and attend the sessions. We also have another program as well, similar to this, that actually is one of our key flagship programs that runs every Saturday as well, from 11 to 12:15, and that is called our CATIP Health Hour. And I believe my colleagues will, post the flyer for this month of May in the chat box. And if you'd like to join that session as well, feel free to email us at health@cahn.org.uk. This month already, for the month of May, we have some different topics that's also in relation to what we're currently learning today, all about chronic disease, kidney disease, diabetes, maintaining that healthy lifestyle, as well, type 2 diabetes as well, and food and care management. So please continue to, if you'd like to register for those upcoming sessions, again, as we're still waiting for WISE to join, feel free to email us at health@cahn.org.uk, and we can just share with you the Zoom details for those sessions as well. So feel free to engage with that. I believe WISE has just joined now. As it's setting up, please do keep those questions coming in, and I believe Dr. Robert will answer those as well after the seminar. Welcome back, WISE.
Yeah, thank you. So let me share my screen again.
Great. I think if you can take it all over again, because yes, this slide, because I mean, when we lost you, we lost the connection without you, the explanation that you were trying to give. So if you can just, take yes, this slide again.
Yes, I'll do so, please. All right. So so the first step towards being able to know what to eat is the assessment of how much, or the calculation of how much food you should be eating, because all the risk factors that are involved can actually be worsened if you eat more food than your body needs. So if your calories are not right, you are taking a step towards worsening the disease. So we calculate energy needs, and it usually ranges between 30 to 40 kilocalories for patients who are either on dialysis or not. So I was given an example that if my patient weighs 65 kilograms, ultimately they will need 2,000 calories of energy at the end of the day. Now, this is now broken down into actual food portions. And one of the ways to start doing that is to look at how much of these calories will be carbohydrates or starch. And the recommendations say that 40 to 60% of the calories should be starch. And then we work around those figures, those percentages, and are able to convert these calories into grams of carbohydrate foods. So for our sample patients whose caloric requirement was 2,000, they will end up requiring about 300 grams of carbs or starch in their daily meals. That's about 84 grams of rice. And then we move to the protein. So there's a lot of talk about protein intake in kidney disease. In the past, one of the main ways of managing this condition of chronic kidney disease is by reducing protein intake to very, very low values. But now it's no more like that. Protein requirements are usually even close to 1 gram per kilogram body weight. And if patients are on dialysis, sometimes it's even higher than that. So that can also be worked up into actual meal portions. Now, all these proteins that we see on the screen can be consumed by anyone who has kidney conditions. Just that you have to work on the portions. If you are taking the actual quantities, you will prevent the nutrition disease or malnutrition or inadequate nutrient intake, and also be able to manage waste or the kidney disease outcomes. And then fats and oils usually shouldn't be more than 30% of total energy or total calories. And then out of that, less than 10% should be the bad type of fats, which are the saturated fats. So even if you have 0 saturated fats and all the 30% being the good fats, that is all the better. So for a sample patient, they will end up requiring about 70 grams of fat per day, which is like between 5 to 6 tablespoons of vegetable oil, for example. So that's for the major nutrients, the carbohydrates, protein, and then fats. Now, there's the need to keep an eye on sodium or salt. Actually, in chronic kidney disease, patient is supposed to consume less than 2,300 milligrams of salt in a day. And that is gotten from less than a teaspoon of salt in a whole day. And you know, salt is naturally present in foods. So one of the ways to manage salt intake is to avoid habits like shaking salt, adding salt to food at table, and overly salting foods, or going for canned foods, and also cutting back on stock cubes because they also pack some good amount of sodium. And also eating out, especially vended food from restaurants, food from food joints, and eating points anywhere, even from offices, workplace, food that is supplied at the workplace can be a source of so much sodium. So anyone on kidney condition should be very, very careful about those sources of sodium as well. So in a nutshell, there has to be an eye on sodium. When we manage this condition, we look at the kidney function test, and sodium has to be within normal range all the time. And that also helps the body to balance potassium and regulate the amount of potassium, and also balance fluids in the body. Now, potassium has good functions. It controls the way our muscles work, the way the heart beats and all that. And excess amounts can actually lead to heart diseases. So in kidney damage or chronic kidney disease, the body is not able to regulate the levels. So potassium remains very high. We have to make sure that the levels don't go that high, or they are within normal levels. So you keep an eye on how much of the potassium rich foods that you consume. And the foods that are very rich in potassium are potatoes, not because the name starts with P and potassium starts with P, but they're actually very high sources of potassium, bananas, and most of the fruits that we consume. But there are also low potassium foods, fruits and vegetables. So apples, number one. Apples are fruits that most of our kidney patients take all the time, and they have very low potassium levels. They don't affect the levels. Mind you, in kidney disease, there's also the tendency of developing low potassium levels. So it's not just about the toxic levels, but there can also be inadequate amounts, which is also not good for health. So we balance all this based on the outcomes of the report. So when we are composing the diet, that's why every patient needs to have a personal dietitian or a consultant that a specialist dietitian or a dietitian that they work with on a day-to-day basis, and they have regular follow-up. So in a nutshell, these are some of the foods that are low in potassium, which are said to be safe for kidney patients or chronic kidney disease patients any day. But then you should also keep an eye on the food sources that are rich in potassium. Then there's this mineral known as phosphorus. The levels also can build so high in chronic kidney disease. So you need to be careful not to take more than you're supposed to take in a day, and look out for food labels, read labels of foods that have, so they can detect if there's phosphorus present in any produce that you are buying. But fresh fruits are in appropriate portions, because the fruits are also sources of potassium. If you eat so much fruits because you don't want to take in phosphorus, you end up taking in too much potassium. So right servings of fruits, and then you are good to go. The grains, the cereals, rice, cereals, and corn products, porridges, and all that may not increase potassium levels. But then protein sources are good sources of potassium. So meat, poultry, and fish. That's why there's the need to control those portions. And also dairy controlling portions can be of so much importance in anyone who is controlling kidney disease. Calcium-rich foods are also rich sources of phosphorus. So if you chew bones, you take calcium supplements, etc. in kidney disease, you need to be very, very careful. and follow your doctor's advice or your dietitian's, nutritionist advice. Now, there's the problem of anemia in chronic kidney disease because erythropoiesis erythropoietin, a compound which helps the body to make blood, tells the bone marrow to make blood. It's no more being produced in the quantities that is supposed to be produced. So there's usually anemia, low levels of blood. Most of the time, the blood cells are of normal shape, etc. So it could be due to iron deficiency, but then a few of the times too, the cells are not of the right kind of shape. So it could be due to vitamin B12 and also folic acid deficiency. So all this has to be balanced very well. The solution for anemia in chronic kidney disease also lies in eating healthy, well-balanced meals, meaning that you keep an eye on the portions of food, etc. But then if you want to manage it with diet, the conventional way that anemia or nutritional anemias, for example, are managed, you might end up taking in a lot of animal source proteins, which are rich source of iron and a good source at that, but then they will end up increasing the levels of phosphates or phosphorus in the blood, and that can be bad. So, and even nitrogenous waste, the urea and creatinine levels will be very high. So it's not good for the disease to just eat a lot of meat or animal liver because you want to build blood. Now, there are medical solutions which doctors will sort you out easily. There's erythropoiesis stimulating agents, iron supplements, infusions, iron through the IV and all IV iron, etc. And then blood transfusion is also employed to deal with anemia during the management of chronic kidney diseases. Now, chronic lifestyles play a major role, like I told you earlier, to manage diabetes well, cholesterol well, etc. You'll be able to control this or prevent or manage this condition. But smoking is associated with kidney conditions, associated with heart conditions, and all that. So stopping smoking or avoiding smoking environments is a key. It's also very key to the management of this condition. And for alcohol, avoiding alcohol is actually what is very protective. So I'll give you examples of some 2 patients who stopped taking alcohol entirely, and their outcomes were very, very positive. And then weight loss, which I mentioned earlier, getting regular exercise is also key. Now, chronic kidney disease are usually weak, but if nutrition is right, you have your energy levels, you'll be able to do slight walks around your house or on the compound or even indoors. And that can be very, very key in managing this condition. Now, these are some success stories I want to share with you before I end my presentation. This patient, 39-year-old male, was diagnosed of chronic kidney disease secondary to uncontrolled hypertension. Immediately, his creatinine levels were so high, he had to go on dialysis, and then the eGFR was very low. So you see that he had an eGFR of 2, which is stage 5 kidney disease, end stage, let me put it that way, meaning the kidneys at that time were not, may not be functioning at all. But then going on dialysis and managing the condition with diet as well, because we advise him on what to do after all the assessments. So from February this year to April this year, that is the outlook. So his creatinine levels dropped from over 2,000 to 377. The eGFR improved from 2 to 19. So he's actually improved from the end stage to severe, stage 5 to stage 4. So that is someone that I'm still taking care of. And we are praying and doing everything possible, encouraging him, helping him to gather funds to be able to do his dialysis and all that, eat well, not go back to his old lifestyle, manage the diabetes, so that the hypertension, so that the condition will actually even improve further. And then there's this other patient, I named him patient B, 37 years old. So I want you to take a look at the ages of these patients, 39 years, 37 years. So they are not old or so old but then they are getting these life-threatening conditions. Now, he has been able to stabilize the condition, prevent it from getting worse, from moving from stage 2. So he came to us, or he referred to my clinic at stage 2, 145 micromoles per liter of creatinine in 2019. 3 years down the line, his creatinine levels, when I saw him just the ending of last month, was 134. And then his eGFR improved from 61 to 67. That's still stage 2. But then I'm happy about him because if not for the prudent management, he's only managing with diet. Of course, when he falls ill, the doctors treat him with necessary medications, but then he's been able to stabilize it. So if for 3 years, there's no deterioration, his blood pressures are well controlled, we are hopeful that it doesn't get any worse as we move on or as the years go by. So I will just want to end on that light, very positive notes so that we can spend the rest of the time to deal with the questions that you have. But then I'll leave this slide on so that we can even interact beyond this meeting. I'm an author, so anywhere I speak, I talk about my books. So I have these books, the pictures I've been showing you from the beginning till now. I've lived long by eating well, then eating to prevent and manage lifestyle diseases. Be your own dietitian. These are all books that help people to deal with the lifestyle issues, prevent them, including kidney, heart disease, cholesterol, all that. They are downloadable as book apps on Google Play, and you can also order the hard paperback copies, and it will be delivered to you. So let's interact through the channels that I have there. I have a YouTube channel where I explain simple diet challenges in 1 minute. I call them 1 minute with dietitian lecture. You can just search my name and take a look at all of them. So over to you, Dr. Robert. And I want to apologize for the breaking transmission earlier on. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. There's no need to apologize. We do understand, even within the UK here, we have such challenges, so it's normal. And we at the CAHN and the Healthy Hearts program, we understand these things. You are not the first person to have a break. Okay, good. That was very, very informative. I'm sure a lot of people have questions. They have concerns that they will raise, and we are going to make it more interactive from now onwards. But just to the key things that I have picked up is that I'm not looking at the details of the kidney disease and all what you've said before nutrition, but I think what we are concerned now, or want to emphasize, is the role of nutrition in managing kidney diseases. And you did say that the nutrition plays a key role in slowing down the disease. So it is not to stop or cure the disease, but to slow down the progression of the disease. And I think you've just used some illustration from your patients to show us how nutrition can really, really change things. And then you've also talked about looking at the modifying risk, the modifiable risk factors. I mean, trying to control them, trying to control if you have hypertension, trying to control them, diabetes, managing your diabetes, because all these can elevate all those factors that you have shown us in your patients, and that can aggravate the kidney disease condition. And I think you talked about malnutrition, and I think I have a question there, but then just to say that, you know, you talked about the fact that when people have diseases, it affects their appetite, it affects their mood of, you know, appetite more generally, and that may cause a low intake of nutrients, and that may lead to malnutrition. Maybe both undernutrition and overnutrition, but that's the question I wanted you to clarify. But the important thing is that consult a dietitian or a registered nutritionist if you are diagnosed with kidney disease. But don't stop going to your doctor or your GP, because you may need some medication. And medication and nutrition plays, you know, para roles to help you recover. So I'll stop here and ask. I know that people don't want to put their questions on the chat box because they want to talk. So I'm going to hand over this back to you guys so that you can raise your questions and then we can start the discussion. I have some questions, but I want to give you the opportunity to do that. And then I can come in later. So over to you, audience. If you have questions, please, the mic is yours. Yeah, I have Helena. Helena, if you can.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Doc. Please forgive me. I have quite a noisy background. Thank you for the insightful presentation. I am wondering, it was nice to see the success stories, but are there instances when you have people move from, let's say, stage 5, 4 to stage 2, if they do, they follow the recommendations that they are given? That's my first. And the second question is, it seems it's a challenge trying to manage creatinine and creatinine levels, and also the stage of kidney failure. So I just wanted to understand why the change can be done. Is there a way that sorry for the background.
Yeah, I couldn't really get the questions well. I don't know if Doc were able to pick.
Yeah, I think the summary is that he's asking, the first question was, is it possible for one to move from stage 5 to stage 2 with a straight nutritional management?
Okay. Now, Helena, I've seen a patient move from stage 5 to stage 4, but then not only with only nutrition. This patient is on dialysis, so we all saw it as a miracle that at least it was like the kidneys had failed, and it could only survive on dialysis. But then it showed a sign of improvement that I've seen before. I've not seen someone moving from stage 5 to stage 2. And the emphasis, like Doc summarized after my presentation, is on slowing down the rate at which the disease gets worse. And good nutrition produces such results, like I showed you. So we are able to see patients stay on same levels. I've seen patients move from stage 2 to no kidney disease. And as for the acute kidney injuries, they recover. So those are all things that success stories or dynamics that I've seen among our patients over the years. But then moving from 5 to 2, that has not happened. But then the one that I've also seen is not only on nutrition, but then every member of the healthcare team stresses on nutrition. In our facilities, without seeing a dietitian, you can't even repeat your follow-up visits to the nephrologist. So we work as a team. So anytime there's success, we celebrate together. We don't really say that it's because of food alone, because of medication alone, but then the whole healthcare team, the nurses, the doctors, the specialists, the nutritionists, we all celebrate success. And that's our goal, to see our patients improve. But then more so to deal with the malnutrition, which is a very, very common problem, because some people avoid certain vegetables because they have kidney disease. So some people will not eat fruits at all because they have kidney disease. Some people will not even certain starchy staples because they have kidney disease, which are all myths and then things that they pick up from society. And that shouldn't be the case. So we try to solve that problem of malnutrition, and Doc was talking about it. It's both and mostly undernutrition in adults. So you see these patients becoming very thin. People who had a plum will become very, very sick, weak and thin, weak muscles and all that. So at the end of the day, their weakness is not wholly due to their kidney disease, but because they've not been eating well. And that is one thing that anybody who is managing kidney diseases has to be very, very aware of. Now, if there is overnutrition where the people don't even probably know their condition, or they just are not on diet or managing their nutrition, when they become overnourished, the obesity factor comes to play. Because at the end of the day, the obesity will worsen the blood pressure, and then worsen the blood sugar, and end up worsening the damage to the kidneys. Even the amount of fat stored around the kidney even has that kind of bad effect on the health of the kidney at the end of the day. So both ways, it has some effects, some connotations, but the most of the clinical picture is about people not getting adequate nutrition, and that's the problem.
Helena, I didn't get your second question well, so if you can type it in the chat box. But I think my question around that has been answered, because I think I wanted to ask you, we know that some of these organs can repair themselves. For example, the liver has the ability to regenerate. And I was wondering whether the kidney does the same, but you said that minor injuries to the kidney sometimes can be repaired. Yes. So yes, so thanks for that. Let me just ask this question, and whilst you are discussing them, others can be thinking about what they want to ask. I mean, you've given us a lot to take home. You've talked about diet and all the things that we need to be conscious of, but I heard you talk about the role of water, because even though you talk about drinking, but I was advising us against alcohol. Yes. What's the role of water in this?
Yes, thank you. So I'll start. Water has a major role to play. I should have mentioned that when I was talking about nutrients, but then right from the acute stage, some people may develop acute kidney injuries because of inadequate water intake, or losing lots of water within a short period of time. So if you are dehydrated, or you vomit, maybe due to a medical condition, vomit so much, there could be slight changes in kidney function, which are corrected by rehydrating. But then in chronic kidney disease, it gets to a point where in the initial stages, adequate water intake or having a lot of water throughout the day even helps to reduce creatinine levels, for example. Or we see people who drink water well, it helps. That's the initial stages. But when the damage is advanced, kidney is not able to remove water or balance the water in itself. So water intake is regulated. So it all depends on the stage. So the earlier stages, more water is protective or helpful. But when it's advanced, then there could be a cap on the amount of water. Some people have to take just 500 ml of water in a day. Some people just 1 liter a day. Some people, their output for the previous day plus 1 liter. It depends on the stage at which we are. So day to day, when we look at the water charts of our patients, then we make inputs into how much they have to be consuming.
Thank you very much. I know we are running out of time, but I just thought to give another opportunity to one of the audience to ask any question. Otherwise, I would just be the one talking. Is there anybody who has any question to ask? Because one of the things.
Good evening.
Please,
yeah, good evening. Harriet.
Yes,
I'd like to find out something. Wise, please, is the program now starting or you are done?
Oh, we are done. We are just in the discussion stage, and we'll be winding up in a minute.
Oh, because what you posted on the platform was 6 to 7:30 p.m.
Yeah, that was UK time. You know, the group I'm talking to is in the UK. So I should have,
okay.
That was a mistake I made. I should have, I think they are 1 hour ahead of us. So sorry about that.
Then please, next time you put something there, because I shared it with my hospital staff and they would be disappointed. There was nothing like maybe UK time or something.
Yeah,
besides what you're saying. So please, next time, because I just opened and I realized that you guys are wrapping up and it's like, I'm so disappointed, and I need to tell them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Harriet, Dr. Hiba has shared the YouTube link. So you can share the link with your staff. And,
yeah, so it's recorded.
All over.
Yeah, so it's recorded. You can share the link with your staff. But then another thing you can do also is to get in touch with Wise, and he will be happy to probably deliver another insightful talk to your hospital staff. So Hiba, are we allowed to use another 2 minutes? No, because I think our time is up, and we have to close. Hiba, can you confirm this? Okay, good. So I think that it's been really insightful and informative having you, Wise. I've learned a lot from your presentation. Unfortunately, there's no time for us to ask all the questions that we wanted to ask, but we would continue to call on you again, maybe another time, to share some of the knowledge that you have and experience. I know you are an experienced dietitian. You have your books. If you are interested in reading more and probably managing some of these conditions yourself, Wise has some very good books that you can contact him and get a copy for yourself. So I would like to end this session here and possibly hand over to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, if there are any closing remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Robert, for that session and for facilitating today's Healthy Hearts. Thank you also for Wise, where we would love having you here. And I know, the time difference is there, but thank you so much for still creating time to, share around that topic. It's very important. And thank you again for those that are tuned in on Facebook and YouTube. We're now moving on to our next segment, session, which is now going to be led by Orlando, our physical instructor. So we normally do, for those that are new to Healthy Hearts, we normally have an hour focused on the seminar, and then we now focus then on some physical activities. So we have Orlando here today, who's going to talk us through what we can expect for today's physical activity session. So please do remember, again, go at your own pace. Please do remember to have your water bottles at the ready. And if you have any questions, my team are on the call on the chat box, and we can also answer those questions. Over to you, Orlando.
Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's Healthy Hearts fitness session. Hope you enjoyed that great talk. And now it's time to get a little bit of a sweat on. All right, so tonight's session, we've got a box exercise session. All right, we're going to work on some combos, get fit, and have a great full body workout. All right, so for today's session, you're going to need a mat, a chair, some space. And remember, I mentioned last week, if you want to enhance the session at all, you can bring some weights in, so some dumbbells whilst you're doing your combos. So dumbbells, canned tomatoes, anything you've got in your cupboards, and you can use that to enhance the session a little bit. All right, so let's start off with a warm-up. So everyone get to your spaces. Let's get ready. Let's raise that heart rate. Let me get my tunes on. So we're going to start off with a 30-second shadow skip. Or if you have a skipping rope, you can use that too. All right, let me get these tunes on. So everyone find a space for me. Let's start by getting warm. Let's get into that shadow skip in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Shadow skip. Let's go. Nice and keep it nice and light. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Uppercuts for speed. Let's go. Roll them shoulders now. Let's get them shoulders, the core, midsection, get it all nice and warm. Keep that going, 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1. Let's go. Start. Let's go. my people. Nice and warm. Three, two, one. Let's go. Power hooks. So put that whole body into it. Really turn that torso. That's it. Keep working, people. You're feeling nice and warm now. You might have broken a little sweat. Three, two, one. Okay, give yourself 15 seconds. Take some deep breaths. Get some water if you need it. Okay, get ready now. So next drill, 30 seconds again. So we got in our stance. 2 step forward, jab, cross, hook, 2 steps back. All right, make sure on the forward part, you're pushing with that back leg. All right, that back leg. And going back, make sure you're pushing with that front leg. So there, for 2. All right, so forward for 2, jab, cross, hook, back for 2. Start again, let's go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Let's get our footwork going. Nice and sharp, my people. Keep that going. 3, 2, 1, and shadow skip. Okay, one leg if you can. One leg if you can. 10 seconds. Change legs. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Jab, cross, hook, hook. Let's go. That's it. Put it together. Keep that going. 10 seconds. Three, two, one. Okay, stay where you are. Let's get some dynamic stretches now. So first we've got toy soldiers. So legs nice and straight, kick them out. Touch with the opposite hand. Let's go. Lower them hamstrings. Two, one. Okay, open the gate. So legs up and around. Let's go. And this time, around and in. Really swing those hips. Open them hips up. 3, 2, 1. Last one, squat and reach. Nice and high. 10 seconds, keep that going. Three, two, one. Okay, give yourself a 15-second water break, and it's game time. So bring your mats in. So we're starting off a little bit different today, folks. We're going to start off with 3 exercises that are targeting the core. So make sure the core's ready and activated, ready for our 3-minute rounds. All right, so first drill, we've got back-to-back on the mat. So first, we're on our knees here. All right, I don't want the bums down, I want the bums up nice and high. Keep that core activated throughout, so tense those abs, squeeze those abs, and we're just going to go straight. All right, go 20 seconds of straight. From there, we've got 20 seconds of push-ups, still on the knees. So here, remember, you're bringing your weight forward. We're not just dropping down like so. The hips and the shoulders go down at the same time. So we're here, bang, push-up, and back again. There, push-up. Okay, shoulders and hips go down at the same time. So we're here, elevated, core activated, straight, 20 seconds, and then we're down for push-ups for 20 seconds. All right, first one, let's go. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Let's start with your straights. Go. Keep that core engaged. Keep that going. Keep that going. 3, 2, 1. Down for your push-ups. Back up. Sick, keep that going, people. Keep that going. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let that rest. Stretch it out a little bit. So next one. We've got side leg raises, if you can. So watch me first. So we're here, legs under the bum, and we're going side to side. Okay. If that proves a bit too difficult, then we can just go straight down here. Okay. But if you can, let's go to the sides. All right, let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Keep that going. Keep that going. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let that settle a little bit. So last one, we've got full sit-ups. Full sit-ups. So we're here, we're down, we're touching there, and we're stretching up. And then back down. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Last one. Keep that going, people. Keep that going. 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay. Quick 15-second water break. Then we're going to go into round number 1. Let's do this. All right, listen, people. First round, we've got a bit of a mix together. So we've got legs, obviously boxing combos, and back of the arms, triceps in one. All right. So listen in, first minute. We're going to be here for 30 seconds. So 10 straights there, 10 straights half squat. Okay, nice and easy. So 10 straights there, 10 straights there for 30 seconds. From there, we're going to hit the chair or the sofa, and we've got dips for 30 seconds. So we're here. Okay, nice and sharp. Nothing too deep. Just nice, quick bounces, okay? Slight bend in the elbow. All right, so we're here. 10, 10. Keep working through the levels. And then we've got 30 seconds on the sofa or the chair. All right, let's get into round number one now, people. Let's go. So start off with your punches. Get ready. In 3, 2, on the drop. Go. 10. Keep that going, people. 3, 2, 1. Hit the chair. Let's go. Keep that going, people. Keep that going. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, next combo. So we're going to start here in the squat. So 10 there, and then down, 10 uppercuts there. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. 10, hit. Keep that going, people. 3, 2, 1. Let's hit the sofa. Come on. Keep that going. Keep that going. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, to your feet. Now let's put it all together now. So 10, 10, 10. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. 10. Keep that going. Keep that going. 3, 2, 1. Triceps dips. Last 30 seconds. Come on. Work it, my people. Come on. Last 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time, my people. Quick water break. 30 seconds. Do this. Okay, listen to my people. So next round, we've got a defensive round. All right, defensive round. So learning how to dodge punches, get out of the way of punches. So combo will stay the same here. First minute, we've got here. Slip, slip, hook, cross. Now watch again. So slip, slip, hook, cross. So in again. So imagine you've got a boxer here. They throw their jab, you slip their jab. They throw their cross, you slip their cross, and you come back with the hook, knockout cross there. All right, that's your first minute, people. All right, nice and easy. Let's get ready. Defensive round. So slip right, slip left, come with your left hook, right knockout punch. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Keep working it, people. Let's go. 20 seconds left. Last 10. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's add to it now. Let's add to it. So, from the start, in your guard. Slip, slip, hook, cross. From there, we've got a duck, so dip down. Dip, weave, hook. So watch again. Bang, bang. 1, 2, duck, weave, hook to the face. Let's go. Second minute. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's go, people. Halfway. Last 15. Last 10. 3, 2, 1. Let's put it all together now. So we're going to finish, last minute, we're going to finish with 10 straight at the end. Watch the full combo. Nice and slow. Slip, hook, cross, duck, weave, hook, and straight. And straight. Okay, so slip, slip, hook, cross, duck, weave, hook, 10 straight. Let's go. Last minute. Last minute. Start off slowly, people. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Let's get busy. Show me what you got. Let's go. Here I go, people. Seconds. Start again. 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And time, people. Take a well-earned 30-second water break. Yes. 8 seconds, and we're back in. Okay, next round we've got a combo round. Last round, combo round. So we're here in our stance. We've got a boxer in front. So we're here, we drop down, we go bang, belly, ribs. Watch again, in our stance. Dip, bang, ribs. Nice and quick. Again, dip, bang, ribs. All right, that's your first minute, people. All right, let's get ready. Combo round coming up. Third round, third and final round. Get ready. In your stance, throw a little fake. Throw a little fake. Dip, bang, rib. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. That's the vertical side. Keep working out, people. 20 seconds. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, my people, let's add to it now. So first part, on that fake, down, hook. Now add 2 more hooks. Body again, face, cross. Okay, watch again. Fake, boom. 1, 2, 3, knockout. Okay, one more time. Fake, bam, ribs, ribs, face, cross. Let's get ready, people. Second minute, let's get ready. 3, 2, 1. Put it together, let's go. Yes, and then cross. 1, 2, 3, knockout. Boom. Halfway. 15 seconds. Last 10. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's put it all together now. Okay. So after that cross, we've got 10 uppercuts for speed. Okay, watch again. So here, flick, down, right to the stomach. Ribs, ribs, face, cross. Starting with this arm, 10 uppercuts. Right, let's go. Last minute, people. Put it together now. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Keep going, people. 20 seconds. Last 10. Let's go, finish strong. 3, 2, 1. Time, people. So quick water break, 20 seconds, and then we're gonna cool down and stretch up. Top session, people. Well done tonight. Okay, last few sips of water. Back to your spaces. Okay, legs facing forward. Let's go next side to side. Ear to shoulder and reach. Arms together. Try and reach your kneecaps. Slide down both sides. Keep those legs straight. Helps you get longer arms like this. Okay, hips forward and back. Side to side. And around. Change direction. Okay, drop into a squat. Legs inside your knees. Push out. Whoa. Palms on the floor, fingers facing towards you. Push down with your palms. Up nice and slow. Legs together, knees nice and straight. Try and touch your toes. Nice and slow. Last one. Knees together. Bring your heel to your bum. Change legs. Try and balance. Try my balance out tonight, people. Not as bad as I thought, actually. 3, 2, 1. Shake it off. And that's time, people. Well done. Smash that. Elizabeth, are you in the house?
Thank you so much for that session, Orlando. Thank you so much again for leading tonight's session. Boxercise, thank you so much. I hope everyone enjoyed this evening session. Please do use the chat box to let us know how you found this evening's session, for those that are tuned in on Facebook and YouTube. And for those that are tuned in on Zoom as well, please do use the different emojis, interaction, thumbs up, clap of hands. Let us know how you found this evening. Was it intense? Are there something, did you learn anything new there? Was it fairly easy? Was it fairly okay? Please do let us know how you're finding this evening session. We've got a few comments there. People have said it's a great session. They love the combos, the different combos that you put in there, Orlando. So it's really good to hear people's feedback. Please do let us know how you're finding this physical activity session, just so that we can improve and we can, if there's something that you would like for us to do in future as well, in these 30 minutes, please do let us know. And I believe Orlando can incorporate that in. Orlando, do you have what can people expect from next week?
So great session tonight, people. Well done at home. I hope you had a good sweat and beat some stress, box some stress out. So we have 2 more weeks of boxercise, and then we're going to go into some Tabata style training, which is basically interval training. So we have 2 more weeks of boxing, and then we're back to circuits Tabata style.
Thank you so much for that, Orlando. So you've heard that here. And if you'd love to register for those Healthy Heart sessions that are coming up, feel free again, either to email us at events@cahn.org.uk, or also you can also email us at health@cahn.org.uk as well. So feel free, my colleagues are typing that in the chat box. So feel free to engage, email us. And please do let us know what topics would you like to see in the Healthy Hearts, what some of the sessions, like Orlando said, that you in the physical activity, is there anything that you'd love to see? We want to hear from you. We would like to hear your feedback. So just to also just add in there, thank you again, Orlando and Dr. Roberts, Dr. Hibber and Wise as well for this evening's session. We really appreciate having you all. And for those that are tuned in again, we really appreciate having you all as well. Just to quickly plug in again, once again, we have our CATIP Health Hour session, and throughout the month of May, our sessions will be focused around chronic disease, kidney disease, diabetes type 1 and type 2, how to manage that, and how if you have any questions around those areas, please do feel free to send in your questions ahead of the sessions as well. If you'd like to register for those sessions, again, that's every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 12:15. So you can feel free to register ahead of time, and that's health@cahn.org.uk. Again, throughout the week, if you have any questions or you'd like someone to talk to, we do have our counselling service, our cultural appropriate, religious appropriate service as well. So feel free, my colleagues are dropping the contact details. Our helpline is available, so feel free to engage and tap into that free service as well. And we love to see you all at our upcoming events. Have a lovely evening. Thanks again, everyone.
Well done, people. Enjoy your evening.